Good morning, cousins. It's a new day, a new dawn. And my shirt is not pink. And the government is open, just as those of us who are off the plantation suspected that after election, the Democrats would vote for the government to be open because they wanted to use the government shutdown to get voters out to vote. Hey, cousins, good morning. Let's see what cousin sister Janice had to say about what the other person had to say. Okay. 13 times. Democrats voted 13 times not to reopen the government. 1, 2, 3, 13. I said that in my video yesterday, and apparently a lot of people were in your emotions. But I got something for you this morning. I'm really trying my very best not to talk politics on this channel. But if you know me, I love politics. It is one. Maybe we should go back and look at the video from yesterday, right? That's what we should do. Let's do that. The Democrats did vote 13 times not to reopen the government because they want, okay, so that's 13 times. And then this last video I did is 14 times. And some people were in their feelings and in their emotions about what I said. So let's just go back and watch what was said. But I am very happy and thankful that the government is open. In the meantime, I'm trying to go back to the video because there's so many people. I'm just watching on TikTok, a lot of people not being able to provide for their families, or mortgage is not being paid, or bills are not being paid. They're missing 2 pay stubs because the government is open. But here's the problem, though. The senators, they're still getting paid. The people who caused the shutdown, senators, are still getting paid. I hate that my shirt is showing up as pink. It's not pink. It's like not pink. But anyways, subjects. I would not have married my husband if he wasn't, if he was just like a dum-dum. Okay. I like a man who can talk about anything, no matter what I want to talk. Okay, let's fast forward to my guy. The Democrats will be folding by November. He said on October 29th, the Democrats will be folding by November 5th. Today is November 5th. And why is that? Okay. Why would they be folding on November 5th? This guy says 60 yes votes are required to reopen the government with a clean CPR party. Republicans voted 53, one Democrat voted, and 1 independent voted, which equals 655 votes. Okay. So why did they have no interest in opening the government and was okay with 42 million people not getting their food stamps, nursing moms not getting their milk for their babies, formula. I was at the supermarket yesterday. Let's fast forward to that. I'm gonna get back to this guy. Langley Outdoors Academy. Shout out to Langley Outdoors Academy. I'm going to give him a donation. He's almost at 1 million view, child. That means you got to give a real offering. Okay, you can't be giving no $2.50. So I'm going to let him talk, and I'm just not going to sit here. I'm going to just sit here and sip my tea. I should probably get my big cup tea. Okay, I should probably get my little tiny cup. Okay, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
It kind of makes you wonder. Y'all, they've been having meetings at those houses this entire time in secret without telling anybody? Yeah, who else is shocked? It kind of makes you wonder exactly how specific they've been with their predictions of when this thing ends. Guys, what I'm about to show you right now, please send out, because we've been talking about almost this exact same thing, and now it's just been confirmed. Everything will be linked in the description box below. Of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. We are going to be doing this little snack here, and then we're going to go to live stream tonight at 9 p.m. to 9:30 Eastern time, so make sure you tune in for that. All right, you can follow me on X at BradenLOA if you'd like, but I want to jump right into this. I don't want to bury the lead on you. This is the same senator, Mark Wayne Mullen, on the Republican side, that we did a video about the plan being leaked, right? Well, I find it interesting that a day after we did that video, the plan being leaked for the whole shutdown end and when the Democrats are going to capitulate and when they're going to finally open the government, and then I showed you all the Hill reporting this morning around which 8 are going to do it. He gets even more specific and then says they've had these secret meetings at each other's houses for the past week and a half this whole time. Y'all, listen, this is a consider. You want to know where he was getting his intel from? The Democrats were over for a bed and breakfast snuggle fest. All right, watch this.
There are talks taking place behind the scenes. Are you aware of any of those talks with?
So let's be clear. That is CNBC, right? This is CNBC. This senator is on CNBC saying what he's about to say. You know, before we cry fake news. Okay. Go ahead.
I guess moderate Democrats and Republicans kind of trying to figure out how to open things up.
Yeah, I wouldn't really say it's been negotiating. It's timing more than negotiating. The Democrats that I've been privileged to have a good relationship with, I mean, we've talked, I don't know how many times around the table at my house. Last night, we were having a conversation. It's all about the timing of an off-ramp. They've been looking for an off-ramp. They thought after the No Kings rally, they would have an off-ramp. Unfortunately, Chuck Schumer felt like it tightened their grip, that they couldn't allow the Dems to release their hold on the government and quit using the American people as hostages or leverage points. And so they wanted to wait until after today because they were afraid if they opened the government up before.
I'm gonna slow down this part, what he said, and play it again. Okay.
Democrats that I've been privileged to have a good relationship with. I mean, we've talked, I don't know how many times around the table at my house. Last night, we were having a conversation. It's all about the timing of an off-ramp. They've been looking for an off-ramp. They thought after the No Kings rally, they would have an off-ramp. Unfortunately, Chuck Schumer felt like it tightened their grip, that they couldn't allow the Dems to release their hold on the government and quit using the American people as hostages or leverage points. And so they wanted to wait until after today because they were afraid if they opened the government up before today that their base wouldn't show up and vote in Virginia and New.
If they had voted to reopen the government, they were afraid that their voters would not show up. I said I wasn't going to say nothing.
All right. So what you're telling me is this has been bullshit the whole time. Come here, guys. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is why I do what we do, right? This is why we have the conversations that we have, because every single one of us has to deal in a real world, except these people, right? This whole shutdown that Schumer has done and Hakeem Jeffries has done has come out all this big talk and very aggressive and how insanely confident they are going to win and no one's on their side and everyone wants other this, that, and the other, all these different speculative political positions. They've been having breakfast and at the table of each other's houses this whole time, and they just never mentioned that. They never brought that up. That never came to part of the conversation. It was just politics. And then you wanted to do it after the No Kings rally, which we talked about on this channel when it was happening, you know, the geriatric one that was funded by Rascal Scooters. And then when that didn't work as well as they wanted to press it a little bit further for some more leverage to hurt the American people till after the election today, because they didn't want to hurt their far left liberal base, because God forbid you come between them and power. They've been at each other's houses this whole time. Now, it does make it a very interesting point here, why he's been so incredibly confident, and as he's about to say, bullish on the timing, because it's all about an off-ramp. We've been talking about that ever since this thing started. They're going to start to realize they cannot win. They're going to fold and capitulate, and they're going to look for an off-ramp. That's exactly, he even said at the very beginning, this isn't negotiating for a position. This is about discussing timing. That means it's already over. So now you're just holding on to make people hurt and feel pain for your political advantage. Okay, you're a shitbag. Not this guy, the people doing it. All right, let's keep going. Good Lord.
Where we have you guys been referring to your interesting mayor, as I like to refer to as your communist mayor, that's going to run this great city of New York. But after today, the negotiations to keep Dick Durbin from voting with us last week, which would have caused a jailbreak because he's the #2 Democrat in the Senate. He had expressed concerns about continuing keeping the federal government closed. The conversations that took place in a long conference was, if you'll wait until after Tuesday, he will release everybody and allow them to vote the way they want to. So that's why I have said it very bullishly last week and all weekend, is that, Becky, we're going to probably start negotiations tomorrow. With the Democrats claiming victory or
tomorrow, as in today, Wednesday, the day after the election. I said I was going to say nothing.
what they're going to say. I can't discuss what or can't predict what they're going to say, but either way, we'll probably have the vote in the Senate either tomorrow night or Thursday. Then the House has got to come back because we're going to have to make some changes to it. We got to change the date, and there's discussions about maybe putting 3 appropriation bills on the CR2.
Okay. Did you catch what he just said? Because you have to know the players, and you have to know their personalities, and you have to know their history, their backstory, and the little manipulative weasel games they play. Because Dick Durbin wanted to vote to open the government. He's the senator from Illinois. He's a far lefty. So he wanted to open the government last week, but then they had multiple conversations and had multiple different conferences about pushing it until Tuesday when Chuck Schumer, quote, unleashes everybody. Y'all, come here. We talked about this morning in the Hill article that I cited both of them and said, so now Chuck Schumer's got to be held to his far left base. He doesn't want to piss off the people in those 3 states or cities and states for the elections today, but then tomorrow he's going to unleash everybody, and magically, just like that, it's all going to be undone. But he's not going to vote for it, so he can say I didn't vote for it, but he's not going to hold anybody and penalize anybody. Are you getting the bullshit yet? And I'm saying bullshit a few times, and I try not to curse as much as I can, but is this not what this is? This entire thing, as he's saying right here, and we have talked about multiple times, it's not about winning and advocating a position. It's about when to find the off-ramp and how they're going to be able to do it without getting blamed. That's what they're doing. That's why they're having all of these movie nights with popcorn at their houses. They're having all these bed and breakfast events. They're having these great wine tastings, I'm sure. I mean, y'all, these people are playing the entire country for their own political gain. And candidly, it's just disgusting. But don't worry, tomorrow's good. Now, I want to bring up something else that he said, because by the way, tomorrow is all of a sudden everything's been resolved. It's not about their election of power. It's magically, Wednesday was the right day after all. All right. Something else that he just said. They're going to come back and they're going to vote for another clean continuing resolution. They might throw some appropriations on. They might change the date, but it's going to pass tomorrow night. And then it's going to go to the House. I'm going to show you what they're going to say here about the House in a second.
Tonight, it will pass. The Republican bill that the Democrats voted 13 times to no will pass tonight or this week, all of a sudden. And the reason why I'm doing this is because some of y'all is just so blind. You guys, some, not all, are so blind. Let me just say, some people are so blind. Holding the government hostage. And for the dum-dums in my comment, talk about the Republicans have the House, the Senate, and the House if they can pass it. Tell me you didn't learn civics in school without telling me you didn't learn. Maybe you didn't go to no school. Maybe you didn't go to school. I mean, you don't read. Well, hello, you know what they say. Want to hide anything from Black people, put it in a book. All of a sudden.
And then magically, all the wheels of government are going to be openly fine. Nothing's in the way. It's amazing. We're all good. Kumbaya. We're just playing politics right here, guys. Except for the people who trust the government to pay them to defend our country. That's a big thing for me. You can't pay our troops for your own political gain. You've been having little back and forth. These are their houses. Yeah. All right, let's keep on going.
Think it's possible we could reopen the government this week then?
Yes, I think we'll be open by Sunday. It depends on. Remember, once we vote on it, the House has 48 hours to basically get back. Now, what I know, the House GOP is having a conference call today. I will imagine on that conference call, they're going to tell their members they're going to go ahead and put their members on a 48-hour notice. Tell them they need to be back here Friday, so they could. I mean, there's going to be some discussions there too, because like I said, Becky, we're going to change the CR because we got to change the date at minimum. What we would like to do
because
is
the date only carried through later this month.
Yeah,
so
we've
already.
Right, it's just like almost a bookkeeping. The Senate does it.
Okay. He's now openly calling. We're going to wrap this and then go into our live stream tonight. He's now openly saying we're going to vote on this thing Wednesday night. They're going to give the Republicans 48-hour notice to get back to Washington by Friday, and the government will be open by Sunday. My God, that was efficient and quick, and how all those,
Sunday. Government would be open by Sunday. Isn't that interesting? This was last night, Sunday night.
Incredibly fun. 9 p.m. Eastern time. I'll see you there. Let's dive right in. I'm not going to bury the lead. This is the midday snack. Okay, here's the thing. This is what's happening right now. You know how I told you this morning we were getting kind of to the point where I was like, I don't know. And everything we've been talking about has kind of been culminating to this weekend. I'm not Nostradamus. I cannot tell you the future. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but I can tell you the left is losing their collective minds. All right, let's get in here. The Senate is set to vote on a bipartisan deal to end the government shutdown. Parts of the agreement include funding the government through January, guaranteed back pay for federal workers, sets a December vote on the Obama tax credits, that's important, backed by at least 10 Democrats crossing the aisle. So remember how we've been talking about the Democrats crossing the aisle, and there's a bunch of moderates who are up for election and they really don't want to get smoked because the far left drags them over the coals? That's them. All right, watch, guys. We're going to keep on going. I'm going to do this fast. It's going to be amazing. And setting this up for our live stream tonight. News. This is from, I can't say his last name, Stephen Newcomb. Let's just say that. A deal in the Senate to end the government shutdown is within reach. Multiple sources from both sides told Axios. At least 10 Dems are likely to support a procedural vote on a package of funding bills and a CR, sources said. It would be in exchange, this is important, for a vote on ACA or Obama tax credits in December in some language in regarding the RIFs. More on that later. They're going to vote on this potentially today to basically say, we aren't going to get what we asked for at all. Remember how I told you in the earlier negotiations, he who speaks first loses? They set the baseline negotiation point at, we want all the Obamacare subsidies for a full year. Now they're signing a deal that says, it's not going to work. And the left, oh my God, get ready. This is Manu Raju from CNN, also confirming, new in a major breakthrough, key Senate Democrats signaling a willingness to vote to reopen the government, per sources, assuming they get provisions to reinstate fired federal workers. Emerging deal would not include extension of ACA subsidies, but would guarantee a vote in the Senate on the issue. Yeah, I'm going to show you a few things tonight that are going to make you laugh about that one, because we already covered the clip with Hakeem Jeffries. They basically said, we're not doing anything on a promise, and then they turned around and did something on a promise. At least that's what they're saying. The vote hasn't happened yet. It's supposed to happen tonight. And now, cue the far left freak out, because if this doesn't make you smile, I don't know what does. Check your pulse, you might be dead. All right. A promise for a vote on Obamacare subsidies in December. Why? What's the difference between now and December? Put it in the bill now, and if they don't, every Dem needs to vote no. Now, secular talk, Kyle Kalinske is a very far left personality. Here's Don Winslow. These are all on X accounts. Dear Schumer and Jeffries, it's impossible to imagine the Democrats would fall for something as utterly ridiculous as a promise from Republicans to revisit this in December. You have to keep your members together. You have to stop them from caving again to Trump. Oh my goodness gracious. All these tabs, we're gonna have so much fun. Same guy. Any Democrat thinking of breaking ranks and caving to Trump, just to know, I will make you famous. There is no betraying your country in the shadows. There are no side deals in the darkness. Oh my God, they are angry. Crying Chuck is weak. Left account. Protect Kamala Harris. This was nonstop propaganda from the Democrats and the Kamala Harris campaign during the election. Democrats are moving towards voting to reopen the federal government. They have no agreement with the GOP to extend the Obamacare subsidies and stop premiums from skyrocketing for 24 million Americans. Retweet to demand that Chuck Schumer fight for the Affordable Care Act. They see the writing on the wall and they are freaking out. Here's another far lefty. A promise of a vote on health care is nothing. Yeah, this morning they were crowing because Hakeem Jeffries said they weren't going to do that. This appears to be a complete cave from Senate Democrats. That's a leftist account. How about this next one? Daniel Goldman.
I'm going to all these tabs.
A future vote on the Obamacare tax credits is not enough. The American people about to lose their health care need results, not votes. Again, guys, they are lining up. The fallout on this is going to be delicious. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries just this morning on if the House Dems will be happy with the promise on a future vote of the Obamacare subsidies. Quote, I don't think that the House Democrats caucus is prepared to support a promise.
Hey, you get the point. You get the point. I don't got to say much, but I hope you get the point. Okay. And let's go over to the Black conservative perspective. Let's see what he got to say.
With no benefit. Like literally they just wanted to. So it turns out that Chuck Schumer was indeed behind the Democrat plan to cave for this whole shutdown thing with no benefit. Like literally they just wanted to give in and let the Republicans pass their stupid continuing resolution.
This is a 5-alarm fire. Chuck Schumer is about to cave, and I need every single person that sees this to call his office. This is his office number, and demand that he does not cave. Axios has just reported that Democrats are going to cave. And what they're going to do is say, hey, we'll vote to open up the government as long as Republicans promise to get a vote for the Obamacare subsidies in December. When the fuck has the Republicans ever actually gone through with their fucking word? They literally have not sworn in a democratically elected official in 48 days.
We have breaking news right now. Senators have reached a deal to reopen the federal government, with some suggesting that Democrats are caving to reopen the federal government at this time. According to Axios, here is the deal that is on the table. Senators will be voting on this deal this evening. 10 Democrats are likely to support a procedural vote on a package of funding bills along with a clean continuing resolution in exchange for a vote on Affordable Care Act tax credits in December, along with an agreement that there would be a reversal of the RIFs, the reductions in workforces. That is essentially, it's a big deal. This would reopen the federal government and ensure that air traffic controllers are paid, SNAP benefits are fully paid out. Now, there's a lot of procedural hurdles to reach here, but this is step one. Some are saying that this is a Democratic cave. I'm going to break it down for you on everything because really, I mean, this is Democrats folding in a way. So let's break it down right now.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We got to talk about a full-blown meltdown that is currently happening right now from the left over the fact that reportedly Democrats are ready to cave. Okay, now a deal apparently is imminent, right? According to Axios, there's been a lot of reporting on this. Democrats, Senate Democrats, at least 10, have basically agreed that, hey, we're willing to go ahead and reopen the government. We've had enough of shutting down the government. We've had enough of taking away people's food stamps, not paying federal workers, not paying air traffic controllers. We've had enough at putting this country in danger because we want a virtue signal to the far left. Okay, we are ready to cave. And that is exactly why you have leftists who are pissed. Okay, they're losing their minds right now because of the fact that they're seeing this as a total defeat for Democrats because Democrats aren't getting the ACA subsidies that Democrats claimed that they were fighting for, right? They essentially said, we're not going to open up the government unless Republicans agreed to a one-year extension of the Obamacare subsidies. Now, the reason why Chuck Schumer and Democrats made this proposal is because they want to rehash this whole ACA thing, the Obamacare subsidy thing, again, right before the midterms. And Republicans are just like, no, right? Like, we're not going to do that. We're not going to fall for your cheap tricks, okay? So, yeah, there's a full-blown meltdown here. You have Harry Sisson. Democrats are caving to Republicans right now in the government shutdown. A promise from MAGA to vote on ACA subsidies in 40 days is nothing. Why are we trusting them to live up to their side of the deal? Why are they fighting hard on this? Total BS. Don Winslow says, Democrats, 11 or more Democrats are reportedly breaking ranks and preparing to vote for Trump and against their own party and country. They are getting nothing in return. Zero gain on ACA subsidies. They are giving up everything for nothing. Right? Reportedly, this is the list of senators here who are caving, okay? A lot of these senators from swing states, okay? They're saying, hey, you know what? We're tired of this, right? We want to go ahead and open back up the government. And again, we're going to see. But again, you know, you have a lot of outrage here from the left. Keith Olbermann says, dear Democrat senators, if you vote for this selling out of the ACA, it will be the end of your careers. Depend upon it. You are there to defend this country against Trump and the fascists, not collude with them. If you become Quislings, you will forever remain Quislings. Crystal Ball says, beyond pathetic. You have Hassan Piker. He says, no one wants to see the government shutdown continue. Why is this weirdo blaming Dems? You just won the election on being in opposition to Republicans and instantly shift the blame back to Dems. Can't stand centrist Dems. Yeah, so he's talking about Abigail Spamberger, a.k.a. Abigail Spamberger, right? Apparently, she went on Face the Nation and admitted that, yeah, Democrats are the ones that are responsible for this, which, again, is clear and obvious to anybody with two brain cells.
Virginia boasts one of the highest numbers of federal workers in the country, and as you know, many of them are not getting paid. You know, some in your party look at your election on Tuesday and the win in New Jersey and say that is permission to hold the line in Congress and refuse to fund the government or fold on the shutdown. Should congressional Democrats view your victory that way?
Absolutely not. Our victory was a victory that was based on a campaign that was addressing concerns related to costs and chaos. My campaign across the past 2 years have been focused on hearing the challenges that people are facing all across Virginia. It's rising costs in healthcare, housing, energy, and it's the chaos coming out of Washington that has been impacting Virginians so severely, beginning with the DOGE efforts, of course, continuing with chaotic trade policies, and now in this government shutdown. Virginians need to and Virginians want to see the government reopen. And my expectation is that we will see a Congress, a Senate, and ultimately a president driving us in that direction.
But should congressional Democrats open the government and then talk about health care?
The government needs to open, and it needs to open immediately. We need the president to demonstrate leadership, bringing people together, endeavoring to get through whatever negotiations need to get through, whether it's before or after. My priority is focusing on the needs and the devastation, frankly, that more than 300,000 Virginians are facing. And that's just the federal employees, government contractors. They will never get made whole. The entirety of Virginia's economy is impacted by the shutdown, just as we've been impacted by DOGE attacks, and the government needs to reopen.
Yeah, so basically what she's admitting, what the mainstream liberal media is admitting here, okay, is that Democrats are at fault. And this is why I think that the political calculus from a lot of these leftists who are boohoo, whining, and crying is off. Okay, it's off. They're getting this wrong. It's actually better for the Democrats to cave now while they're ahead, right, while they can say, okay, we got a big election victory because of this, because let's be real, one of the reasons why they performed so well is because there was a perfect storm that happened going into that election, okay, a perfect storm. And they blamed it all on Republicans, and it worked. But see, what happens is that pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. When you're a hog, right, when you overeat, right, that's when things start to backfire. Again, anybody that is paying attention to this shutdown, that is not a complete and total partisan hack, knows that Democrats are the cause of why this is happening, right? Eventually, if Democrats continue to hold out and they come up with these goofy explanations for why is it they can't agree to the same spending that they agreed to under Joe Biden multiple times, people are then going to start to say, well, obviously.
And that's what I wanted to get to. That is what I wanted to get to. Okay, let me rewind what the Black conservative said. Let me rewind what he said.
Continue to hold out and they come up with these goofy explanations for why is it they can't agree to the same spending that they agreed to under Joe Biden multiple times, people are then going to start to say, well.
Did you hear that? They cannot agree to the same spending they agreed to under Joe Biden. They have to explain it. You agree to it. What's different now? Granted, you know how I feel. I believe in universal health care. I hear all the arguments against universal health care. I believe in affordable health care. Okay, my insurance will be going up $400. I am paying $1,000 a month now, November, December, and January 1st. My health insurance I have to pay an additional $400 a month. So that's $400 a month coming out of my my pay stub to pay for health care. And do you know why that is? Put it in the comments.
Obviously, Democrats are the problem here because they can open up the government and they can talk about Obamacare later. But see, again, a lot of these leftists, they don't understand when you're greedy and you end up eating too much, that's when you throw up, right? It backfires. So Democrats caving right now is probably the smart thing for them to do because ultimately in the day, they don't have much to gain by continuing to drag this on. And they got a whole lot to lose, right? So, you know, that is obviously something that leftists don't understand. And I want to react to this clip of Kyle Kukalinski essentially calling for Chuck Schumer to lose his job. I mean, he's probably going to be primaried anyways, over the fact that he's caving. So they're begging their followers to call Chuck Schumer because of the Democrats caving.
All right, guys, I'm sitting here prepping for the show, and I just came across some major breaking news that I wanted to share with you right now. So we're just getting word from Axios that it looks like Chuck Schumer is caving in this shutdown fight. So here's what they say. A deal in the Senate to end the government shutdown is within reach. Multiple sources from both parties told Axios at least 10 Democrats are likely to support a procedural vote on a package of funding bills and a CR, sources said. It would be in exchange for a vote on ACA tax credits, that's the Obamacare subsidies, in December, and some language regarding RIFs. That's a
yeah. So let's talk about the RIFs thing, right? Let's talk about the layoffs, because essentially what Democrats are requesting is that Republicans reverse the layoffs, and Republicans are agreeing to it. The reason why Republicans are agreeing to it is because they know that the federal layoffs hurt, specifically in states like Virginia, right, where there's a large amount of federal workers. Now, again, this is the thing about politics that I have to explain to you guys, is that, yes, I support the DOGE cuts. Yes, I support the federal government downsizing. But at the same time, what you also have to understand is that electorally speaking, that comes with a cost. Those people vote. Even though a lot of these people, they got.
Okay, y'all can finish watching the rest of the Black Conservative because I have to go. So I just wanted to, just play a couple of snippets for you. I am trying to stop talking about politics on this channel, but I love politics and it's so intertwined into our lives. I am very thankful that the government is open and SNAP recipients can get their full SNAP benefits. It's a holiday. Even if it's not a holiday, people have kids to feed. People cannot afford to buy food. It is extremely expensive. I'm very happy for the federal workers that they can get their pay stub. I was listening on TikTok. They were saying we've missed 2 pay stub. The banks now are starting to add stuff to there. The daycares can be open. So I am very, very, very thankful that the government is open. And you know what came to me this morning as I woke up from a dream I had of me fighting. I got to tell my husband that dream. is like Holy Spirit was saying we need to pray. Like we don't pray anymore. Remember back in the day, we used to pray. We would go to church and pastor would say, let's kneel down and pray. Let's have a prayer service. Let's have a shut-in. We don't do those things anymore. So we really need to get back to praying and ask. And I me personally pray for the government. See, I don't care who is in office, Trump, Biden, Obama, Bush, Clinton. It don't matter to me. Whoever's in office, I'm going to prosper. That's how I look at it. Okay. But the Bible does encourage us to pray for those in authority, or presidents, senators, governors, mayors. That crazy man y'all got in New York City, woo! We still have to pray. That's what the Bible encourages us to pray. All right. I love you. Be sure to check out my Married at First Sight video. I'll do episode 9 tomorrow. It's a holiday for me tomorrow, Tuesday. So I'll wake up early and do episode 9. Let me know what you think about this. Are you happy that the government is open? If you've been blinded, are the scales dropping from your eyes? If you're stuck on the plantation, are you starting to step off the plantation? Come on, people, wake up. See what's right in front of you. I absolutely love it. And my shirt is not pink or red. It's like a brownish something. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm going to take a picture outside in a second because it offends me when I come on camera and the camera distort my clothing. I don't like it. I love you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.